him. Nah, I'm just kidding. Alright. Hey everyone. So, I am going for a little ride just around where I live. And I thought I would talk about a personal experience that I thought other people would have had happen to them too, or might be going through it, which is sexual harassment at work. It's not happening to me right now, it's in the past, but I had gone through it, I don't know, it was a while ago, and they were sexually harassing me. He seemed like a nice person. I was like, yeah, sweet, you know, I'm a pretty outgoing person, I talked to everyone, had no problem, you know, got on fine. But then as the months went on, he became very controlling and aggressive. I was very close with some other workmates and I would go out with them. We went to Peel Island and stuff like that, and we didn't invite him because we weren't close with him or anything. Like, we talked at work, got on with him at work, so that was, you know, that's normal. Yeah, and he would get very angry that I would go out with my other workmates. And for starters, like, it's none of his business. Like, I didn't tell him. He found it on Facebook. We didn't tell him at all because, like, we didn't want to be rude, you know. But, yeah, he found it on Facebook and he was not happy. He gave us all the silent treatment for like 2-3 days. Like, if he was pissed off with you, he would give you the silent treatment. Like, it was so immature. He's like a 40-year-old man or older, like in his 40s anyway, had like a couple kids, had a wife, you know, all that kind of thing. And yeah, he would just be really immature and just like ignore us. And like, not that like we really cared, because we would just work and ignore it, because we're like, there's no point getting out of the panties in a knot about it. Like, we don't really care. Anyway, and then he would like sexually touch me. Like, it was very, like, if I was sitting down, he'd come over and like touch me like on my leg, or like, you know, all like, it was just uncomfortable. And like, he'd always like force me to hug him. Like, he would grab me and turn me around and like fully, like, he was big, like a big guy, like fat big, but like, I'm like, you know, I'm not tiny, but like, I'm not strong like that. And it was just like, I couldn't fight against him. Like, I would try and I just couldn't, I wasn't strong enough. And yeah, he would full like grab me and like, yeah, force me to hugs, and I'd try to rip away, and then I'd just run out. Like, I was so uncomfortable, and it was obvious. And he would just push the limits, like, and then he'd try to touch my boob and like feel my boobs, and like, it was just so, like, I was so uncomfortable. I'd go cry, and like, I just couldn't do it like anymore. Like, it was just pushing me to the limits. And then I had told my workmates, and like, but you know, like, you're a like, I was good friends with them, but you're like a victim, so like, you're scared, you don't want to go and tell anyone, like up top, HR or anything. Like, I just didn't, and I didn't want to cause someone to lose their job. Like, he had kids and a wife, and you know, like, I didn't want to put someone in that kind of a situation. Like, I felt guilty and I shouldn't have, you know. And anyway, they were really supportive. They were there for me. Like, they would look after me if he was around, and I would always stay around them, and they were really great. And yeah, so, but they would never witness it, because like, he would always do it behind like everyone, like, you know, like where no one was around. Like, always when I was by myself and had to be by myself because I was like doing work, you know. And oh, it's just so freaky. And like, what started out as like a normal person got like excessive, and he was controlling. Like, he got so mad. Like, I was going to leave my workplace and I was quitting, and in those last few weeks he came up to me like just before I was leaving and was like, where are you going? And I didn't want to tell him, like, because he's like, I knew that like where he lived was like near there and stuff, and I just did not, yeah, I didn't want to like him to stalk me, like literally, like it was that bad. And yeah, so I didn't want to tell him anyway. Like, it's none of his business, you know. It's not like I'm married to him or anything. Like, we're not good friends. Like, he had nothing to do with where I was going, what I was doing with my life, you know. And he got so angry, he was smashing into the desk, like fully, like his hand, like smashing. Like, I don't know if you could see it, but I was smashing. And then like swearing at me, like, why would you effing tell me this? Rah, rah, like fully going off, swearing and abusing me. And I was just like, it's none of your business. Like, I think that was like the first time I kind of stuck up for myself. And yeah, he got so pissed and like tried to always, tried to always, like, it was always grabbing my hand and my wrist and like pulling me, and like I like couldn't get away. Like, I was like, I'm only got little wrists. I just didn't, like, I was too embarrassed, and I didn't want to cause harm to him, like losing his job, you know. Like, I don't know, I can't explain it. When you're in that kind of position, you just feel so guilty, and you try to like make it sound like it's okay, you know, because you're like in the victim position, kind of, like, I don't know, it's really hard to explain. I don't know if other people have gone through it. I think people have, but I mean, I always hear about it on TV, that, like, you know, the victim thing and blah blah blah. My husband was like, I'm gonna come to your work and, like, you know, have a word with him. Like, once he finishes work, oh, it's windy, I'll come out and have a word with him. Like, I won't like be abusive. I will just firmly, you know, say back off, leave my wife alone. And I said no to that, but my husband sent a Facebook message, and sent him a message instead, and was like, you know, stay away from my wife, blah blah blah, you're a 40-year-old man, you have 2 kids and a wife, like, what the hell, you know, and fully like told him, like, back off, leave her alone. And it got worse after that. Oh my goodness, like these sorts of things were happening. Anyway, I was happy that my husband stuck up for me. He was always like to me, you know, you've got to go see someone, you should, you know, stick up for yourself, blah blah blah. And, you know, like, whoa, what's changed? And I did, you know. In the end, I did stick up for myself, and then he left. He quit working there, and I was like, hallelujah, like, I was so happy. And when he left, like, I said goodbye. I wasn't rude, I didn't do anything bad, and I was so happy. And then he called me at my work one afternoon, and I had moved to a different office at that time, and I didn't know how he got the number. And he's like, I was like, because I answered the phone thinking it was a customer, and he was like, hey, and I was like, oh, hey, and I was like, he's like, oh, it's me, blah blah blah, and I was like, yeah, what's up? And I was like, how did you get this number? And he's like, oh, I know people. And I was like, oh, okay. And then he was talking to me, and I was like, yeah, I really gotta go, like, I'm at work. And he's like, oh, I finished work, blah blah blah. And I was like, oh, okay, cool, but I really gotta go. And yeah, I like quickly rushed the conversation, was like, please get away from me, creeper. And yeah, and then I haven't heard from him since, thank goodness. So that was my experience with sexual harassment and uncomfortableness at workplace. Yeah, it wasn't a nice thing. It was worse than I'm telling you. I'm just telling you quick parts. And my husband wanted to kill him, really. You know, I didn't want that, but I am proud of myself now, how I handled myself in the end. Yeah, if anyone's going through this situation, or has been through this situation, I'd love to have you comment or personally message me on Facebook, because, you know, if I can help someone, you know, by telling my story and talking and stuff, and you talking to me or telling me your situation, you know, I hope that would help. And, you know, there's heaps of help out there, and, you know, there's hotlines to call and stuff. I think there is. I'd say there would be. And, you know, there's hotlines for everything these days, and, like, there's heaps of help out there. And don't stay silent, you know, tell someone that you know can help you and make a difference to make it stop, because no one deserves to be put in that situation. It is so wrong and so unfair, and anyone that thinks that they can do that to people are just so disgusting to me, because you don't deserve to control anyone or what they do or how they live their life, or or just because you sexually want them does not give you the right to touch them inappropriately, rape them or hurt them or physically abuse them. Nothing. It makes me mad and very upset that there's people out there that think that this is okay. It's not okay, Hey, it's a dog park. Anyway, I'm gonna head home before I get stormed on. I've already been spattered on a little bit. But yeah, this is Dashing Brunette signing out, guys. See you.